So basically, the song "Talk About It" is, at its root, a blues song. We approached it. The chord changes are blues. Some of the guitar stuff is blues, but the twist to it is that it has like a contemporary pop ballad chorus, and it's kind of a cool blend of it. I mean, again, not traditional. Traditional, blues recording would be really top heavy on guitars and bass and the rhythm section. That's sort of the traditional blues version of it. I mean, again, at its core, this is a blues song, even to the point where we respectfully borrowed the line, "If this river was whiskey," which is, from an old blues tune. So, with that in mind, where we have this blend of like contemporary pop with a blues tune at the core, I figured it'd be cool to explore some of the contrast between the things that we did as far as processing, as far as the changing up the sounds, and again, to show the contrast between this blues song, this contemporary pop ballad chorus, and internally there's contrast as well. Just processing in general. Everybody does it. I mean, there's nothing that'll replace like a great mic and a great sounding instrument, and you set it up correctly and you get a great recording, and that's what you go for initially anyway. But then just to compete in the whole commercial world, there's more processing that has to be done. You kind of brighten it up or you punch it up. This is an example of the difference between, again, we'll go to the chorus from the master compared to a version of it without processing. And what we did is we compensated for levels. So this is not a trick where it's louder and that's why it sounds better. Both of these files are at the same audio level. So check it out. So here's the chorus, just with the processing, the way it was mastered.
Soul, hey, I don't wanna talk about it. The way it threw me away. Hey.
Okay, so same chorus, same level. This is without processing.
Soul,
and we'll A-B between them.
hey, I don't wanna talk about it.
With processing? Without. So listen close again. You could hear, a few things going on. Not only the brightness, not only the punch, but listen to this spread of like the stereo spectrum. Again, here's the regular master with the processing.
Soul, hey, I don't wanna talk about it.
Without. I mean, you see the way things like muddy up a little bit, and then the whole stereo spread where things are in your headphones change as well. Check it out. With processing. Without.
I still believe in city life.
Again, same levels on both. Nothing about the level. It's not a trick. It's the processing. So there's the whole thing about, like getting to the chorus, and the chorus is generally right, the hook or whatever. And you would think that what makes the chorus happen, is the big chord change. But in reality, there's so many other things that make the chorus hit. So let's listen to what the chorus is here in the final mix. Okay, let's listen.
This town's been good to me, but it took my soul. Hey, I don't wanna talk about it.
Okay, so you got the nice, bright, airy chorus, and you say, "Oh, it's the chords." But let's listen to the chorus without the backing vocals and without the acoustic guitars, which is kind of a key thing as well. And then we'll kind of A-B between them as we roll it. Here it is without the acoustic guitars, without backing vocals.
Soul, hey, I don't wanna talk about it.
So let's listen to the way it hits different. Here we go with the full mix.
soul. And I don't wanna talk about it, We're through
Without vocals,
me
guitars.
way.
No vocals, no acoustic guitars.
And I thought about it, thought about it.
With vocals,
I
guitars.
do it again. But I believe tonight.
Without vocals,
I
guitars.
still believe in city life.
So they're just a pair of instruments, and backing vocals really make the difference on how the chorus hits. Basically, this is what brightened up the chorus. This whole vocal and acoustic guitars, but especially the acoustic guitars. Check it out.
And I thought about it.
Without vocals, guitars. So you can hear the difference, right?
But I believe tonight.
And again, just because of the acoustic guitars and that backing vocals, that's what makes it bright and hit the chorus. You know, another thing that makes a really big difference, I guess, in the recording process is the vocals, of course, right? It's right up in your face. It's, you know, a main part of the song. You want it to be clear. You want to be able to understand lyrics and things like that. And so, again, the processing, you know, part of it becomes important. Again, nothing replaces a great mic, a great vocalist, you know, a good recording. But again, even the individual vocals get processed. So let's listen to the chorus again, you know, with the full processing, vocals and all. Now, this is full processing on the overall mix of the song. And the lead vocal itself is also, you know, processed individually. But let's listen to the chorus on this again.
And I don't wanna talk about it. We're through me way.
And let's listen to now just the isolated lead vocal with processing, its own processing, with acoustic guitars, just so you got something to sort of, you know, have a bearing on it.
And I don't wanna talk about it.
With processing?
We're through me way.
And now I guess the third instance is same vocal isolated with acoustic guitars, but no processing at all on the vocal. Check it out.
And I don't wanna talk about it.
Without.
Talk about it.
Will A be it now, right?
We're through me way.
With processing?
And I thought about it.
Without.
I do it again.
So again, the difference between, you know, just a plain vocal where you could hear it's really flat, it's a little dull, it doesn't punch out from between the guitars. Let's listen to that again, to the dry version of it, where it doesn't even get out from behind the acoustic guitars, let alone, you know, an entire mix of music.
And I don't wanna talk about it. We're through me way.
Now, whereas you punch it up a little bit with a processing,
Thought about it. I do it again. But I believe tonight. I still believe in city lights. What I don't really need tonight.
so basically, you know, again, I'm not big on processing. A little bit of compression kind of just like keeps the level, and that's on the recording itself. Just keeps the level of the vocalist, you know, consistent. So if he gets in close to the mic like this here, you know, it doesn't jump out and get louder, but very, very light, like 4-to-1 compression. There's just very light EQ on that, somewhere in the 2K area, like, you know, just a little bit of a boost just to brighten it up. And then there's a little reverb on it, a little reverb delay. So again, here's the dry version of the vocal without that stuff.
And I don't wanna talk about it. We're through me way.
Now with the processing,
And I thought about it, thought
jumps
about
out from
it,
behind the
thought
guitars
about it.
and jumps out of the mix as well.
I do it again. But I believe.
So, again, along the same lines of processing, but maybe along the lines of like tips and tricks, there's the whole, guitar thing, the guitar solo. Carl Batista is just he's an amazing guitar, soloist. He comes up with great guitar solos and really inventive and whatever. He plays most of the leads and he plays the rhythms too as well, but, on the solos. And Carl is, a conservative guy. He doesn't use a ton of stuff. For this setup, basically, Carl, he used, and again, this will get a little technical, but Carl used this Mesa Boogie amp, basically an old MXR phase shifter, and a stomp box, a distortion box, and he played his Strat. As far as the original recording, we mic'd it up with a Sennheiser MD421, which again is traditionally like a drum tom mic. Like put the SM57 in front of it or whatever. And we definitely did that, but it was too bright for this. So we used the 421. It was a little sort of rounder and softer. We mic'd up the room in general with a condenser mic and picked up a lot of nice like nuances from that. And we also had a direct right out of his phase shifter and his distortion box direct to the board. So we mix between the three of those things. And that sounds a little bit complicated, but you know what I mean? That's kind of like the straight up thing. And we found we still didn't nail it. We still didn't nail the sound that Carl wanted to get. So what we did was this little, I guess, a trick, and it's called reamping. So we did the recording. We had, the guitar recorded just the way I had explained with the setup. And then we played that recording out of a set of speakers. And in this case, we just used the studio monitors. And we put up a mic in the room and recorded the sound of that. Because this is a blues-based kind of song, we wanted to get more of that traditional, like, Sun Studios, like where you could hear the room. You close your eyes, you could almost see the control room glass and people sitting around. So that's what we tried to do with this. And so let's listen to the track where the solo happens first.
Really need tonight is I love you.
So you can start to hear the room right there, right? You hear it? Okay, so now this basically is that guitar solo isolated with just some bass behind it, so you have a reference. And this is just the straight up recording, like we said, just with the mics. It was without the reamping process. And listen, again, we compensated for levels. And listen how you're not getting enough of room or whatever it is from the original. Here it is. Okay, so now let's do this reamp process and add a little bit more of the room, and here's what you get. And we'll A-B between them as well. See, it sounds really direct here with no ambience in it. Add the room here. Again, we compensated for level. This is not a level trick. It's the difference between the room and not. And then let's listen to the way it actually even cuts through the actual track. much better, even with the room. It gives it more space. So anyway, there you have it. It's Joe Kirsch. The song is Talk About It. You can get it for free at greenpointmusic.com. There's some MP3s down there. There's some YouTube videos on it. Again, it's Talk About It, greenpointmusic.com. We'd also like to thank the players on it. This time it was Vinnie McMahon on the drum kit and, of course, Carl Batista on guitars. Also want to thank young Anthony Cardone for helping us track some drums in Pennsylvania. Again, we hope you like listening to this Behind the Music stuff. Come pay a visit to greenpointmusic.com. Thanks for listening. It's Joe Kirsch, and bonsoir, baby.
But I believe tonight. And I believe in Jesus Christ. But what I don't really need tonight is I love you. Is I love you. Is I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.